Hi, my name is Allie Raskin, and I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. I live in the US, as you probably can tell by my accent, but I'm so excited to be working with all of the beautiful South Africans I've gotten to meet over the last year. My story started about 6 years ago, actually, really 9 years ago, when my son was born and he had a lot of health issues. And we really struggled to get to the root of what was causing his illness. And that's really when I started studying natural health. On that journey, I met Lindsay, who you just heard with. We actually went to college together and we were studying natural health together. And she introduced me to essential oils when she first met them. So this journey has been amazing for us. It's made a huge impact on our health. But one of the biggest things for me was the toxins. So learning what was affecting my son's health, and so much of that was the toxins, and even Western physicians telling me I needed to get rid of all of the toxins in my home and allergens that were causing him to be ill. As I started studying this, I learned some crazy statistics. The average woman puts 160 chemicals on her, 130, more than 130 chemicals on her skin before she eats breakfast in the morning. How crazy is that when you think about it? So I'm going to walk you through some of the things that you really want to put your fingers in your ear and not listen to, but really it's good to know, because when we know better, we do better and we can make better choices. By the way, my son came home with the plague basically the day before yesterday, and I will tell you, the fact that I could recover in a day's time versus a week's time, like what would have been before, by using these oils has been amazing. So excuse me while I wipe my nose as I'm still recovering from that. So some of the toxins you need to be aware of are sodium lauryl sulfate. So that's the stuff that makes your shampoo foam, your toothpaste foam, all of these things. They're foaming agents, and they are damaging to our skin. They mess with our hormones, and they mess up our immune system as well. Fragrance. The word fragrance can have up to 300 chemicals in that one word that don't have to be listed out on the packaging. How crazy is that? And one of the most common is formaldehyde, which we know is a toxic substance, but it preserves that synthetic, not plant, but synthetic smell. So anytime you see the word fragrance, so think your laundry soaps, your shampoos, all of your body care products, most of them probably have fragrance in them. And it's really scary what they do to our bodies. So actually breathing in, just to give you an example, breathing in a scented candle does the same thing to your body as smoking an entire cigarette. So I know that you guys are not handing cigarettes to your children or your animals or anyone in your home probably, and you certainly wouldn't intentionally impact someone's lungs the way that a cigarette would, but it actually has the same impact. So all of these things, they affect our lungs. They've been linked to cancer in a big way, heart disease, reproductive issues, and we don't want our house to smell good while hurting our people in our home. So there's a better way, which we're going to talk about. The next one, and I'm going to just do the heavy hitters here, Triclosan. So anything that says antibacterial, whether that's the stuff you put on a wound or the things you find in soaps and deodorants, toothpaste even has Triclosan in it, first aid products, kitchenware, children's toys. This is actually a topical antibiotic, and it's tied to all kinds of endocrine system disruptions. So think your hormones, think your pancreas, all these things. It's related to birth defects, uncontrolled cell growth. Yeah, that stuff is gross. So anything that says antibacterial in a chemical way, Triclosan, you should run. Excuse me while I deal with my plague. The next is 2-butyxethanol, which is one of those chemicals that can be hidden in the word fragrance, and most of the time you will never see it on packaging, but it's found in our window cleaners, our kitchen and our multi-purpose cleaners. It does not, like I said, have to be listed on the label, and it's linked to narcosis, pulmonary edema, severe liver and kidney damage. Yuck. So while we think we should be protected by our governments of what's sold on our shelf, it's the same in South Africa as it is in the United States. Sadly, it's not regulated. And it's not regulated for safety at all. And it accumulates over time in our body. So maybe one thing isn't that big of a deal, but the problem is that our body doesn't have a way to expel it. So things accumulate and accumulate over time, like It's called bioaccumulation, and it really becomes very dangerous. And so now, as people become more aware of these toxins, these companies have gotten really smart, and they make these products that say green or natural or pure, but there's no regulation on those words. So we call it greenwashing. So if you actually look up the chemicals in those products, you will find they're just as toxic as their sister, same brand, sister formulation. So there's a couple of great resources that you can really empower yourself with. One of my very favorite, which is available in South Africa, is the website EWG, like Environmental Working Group, .org. So www.ewg.org. And you can actually type in each chemical on the back of your products and you can find out how bad it is for you. There's also an app that sometimes works in South Africa, which is a free app called Think Dirty. It doesn't have as many South African products in it as we would like yet, but it can at least give you an idea of some of the things that are really dangerous that you can find yourself. So when we know better, we can do better. There's no judgment. We all started here, right? When my son was sick, I literally had to take trash bags around my house and empty cabinets out of stuff that I had no idea how toxic it is. And the crazy part is, and the amazing part is that we don't need chemicals to be healthy. Nature has given us what we need. Our oils actually help digest bacteria and viruses. So we can use them to clean our homes. We can use them to clean our hands and our teeth. And we don't need chemicals to be beautiful. So we don't have to put makeup on our face that's going to be full of chemicals that's going to affect our reproductive system and our hormones and our endocrine and our thyroid, etc. So just know that everything you put on your skin is absorbed into your bloodstream. Your skin is your largest organ. So you really have to think about anything you put on your skin, anything that you breathe in should be also safe to ingest. So if some packaging says do not ingest, do not swallow, you probably shouldn't be breathing it in and you probably shouldn't be putting it on your skin. So hate to be Debbie Downer here. There is a better way, and when you start to learn of these things, you will feel so empowered to use products in your home that don't have negative side effects, in fact have positive side effects. One of the things I like to tell people, because they probably don't realize, is that part of patent law, in order to get a patent on something, is that you have to modify nature. So when you start understanding that all these products that are made for our health, given to us by our pharmacists, are derived from plants, you start to feel really empowered that these plants really do work. And there's tons of research out there. So if you are someone who comes from a medical background or you want to do more research on these plants, I highly recommend you look into pubmed.gov or nih.gov. Not that there's not a place for Western medicine. Sometimes, you feel like you might have to, but there are so many things you can try in the meantime, and maybe you can avoid something with a negative side effect. So with that, I'm going to give you hope. There is a better way. We're on the other side. Plague symptoms can dispel quickly. Y'all have a great day, and I'm excited for you to hear from more of the speakers.